Hello, Leo. This is Gypsy Spirit here with you, ready to give you your tarot reading for January 29th through February 4th. And uh, please keep in mind this is a general reading, so if you want your own personal reading, you can get that. We'll talk about that at the end of the video. But some of this may resonate, some of it may not. But let's go ahead and get started. I've pulled your cards. We have the High Priestess. She is in reverse. That tells me, Leo, us Leo, I'm a Leo too. So we can be very, very stubborn. But you need to listen to what your higher divine is trying to tell you. You know, that little voice that gives you a warning about things. Listen to it. Listen to it. Because um, that's your guide trying to help you live peacefully on this crazy planet. But I'll tell you a story about the High Priestess in just a moment. Let me get through this reading. The Nine of Wands, there's something that you're working on. You're manifesting, you're working towards something. It may not be a small goal. I feel like there's like a big picture that you're looking at. And when I see the 9, especially in Wands, it tells me that you're on the right path. You're getting there. Just keep going. Things are growing. Things may be growing faster than you realize, but don't give up. Don't give up what you're doing because you're on the right path. Keep moving forward. And this is what this card looks like. I mean, he's a warrior and he's moving on. So just keep going. These are brand new cards. And so when I'm looking at this card also, I see like he's getting a lot of creative ideas as well. So there's a lot of manifesting that you're doing, Leo. A lot of new creativity, new things that you're wanting to do, and expanding, and just keep moving on. Keep going. You're on the right path. 7 of Swords, though, comes up. Don't like this card. Don't like this card at all, okay? As you can see, the eye, the eye in the background, the evil eye, if you will. There's some anxiety that you've got going on. But I also see that you need to be very wise. Keep your eyes open, Leo. Keep your eyes open. Keep your ears open so that you can look and see, because there's somebody in your little circle or whatever that may be trying to deceive you. And again, that's where we have the High Priestess is in reverse, okay? I'm going to tell you a little story about the High Priestess. Years ago, I was a caregiver. And years ago, there was a woman that I took care of. I worked for an agency at the time. And there was a woman who had some sort of spine operation, and she needed to have somebody stay with her for like 2 or 3 weeks overnight. I mean, so I just kind of moved in with this woman to take care of her. And while I was there, I had brought my tarot cards. At the time, I had like this little box that I kept my tarot cards in. And I could leave the woman there, like to run it to the grocery store or whatever, and which I did a few times, and she was okay. But on this one particular day, it was on a Friday, and I needed to go to the office, the home base office that had employed me, because I was getting paid that day, and I needed my money so that I could pay my rent. And I needed to go to the grocery store for myself and this woman. And she had her cleaning ladies, who were also personal friends of hers as well, that were going to come in and clean the house. Now, my boss had been to the house the day before. And I mean, this woman was she had stuff in her freezer, in her pantry, that was like 4 years old. I mean, and everything was just cluttered. I spent like 3 days clearing everything out, getting rid of all the old food and everything. It was a job, definitely. But again, like I said, I kept my tarot cards there in case while she was sleeping, or resting. I could go to my room and do readings for people that would call in or whatever. So this particular day that her friends were coming in to clean the house, I was going to leave and go run those errands. And something kept telling me, take your box with you. And I was in a hurry and I ignored it, completely ignored it. I kept thinking, well, yeah, maybe I should take my box with me, but I didn't. I ignored the high priestess, the high priestess, my higher divine, trying to give me a heads up warning. And so I was gone for a few hours, probably more like 3 hours, 2.5, maybe 3 hours. And I get when I'm on my way back, I got a phone call from my my superior, and she said, "Where are you at?" And I told her, where I was at, and she said, "Well, they're freaking out. They said that you're not there and that you've left the client there all by yourself." And I said, "Well, yeah." I told them where I was going. I told everybody what I was doing. And so when I got there, I walked in, and the two ladies that were there, supposedly that had cleaned the house, had reported to my boss, who had just been there the day before, and said the house looked fine. Said that the house was a mess, that I had left it in a mess, and that I had left this client for too long, and I just made up all kinds of stuff about me, and had convinced this woman that she should not have me in her house. And it really bothered me. I was like, God, what did I do wrong? And she, I heard her when the ladies left, the cleaning people left. I heard this woman talking on the telephone with my boss, basically telling her that she didn't want me there anymore. And I was like, you know what? I'm out. So I did. I left. My boss was not happy because she needed me to stay there until she could get a replacement, but I didn't care. I'm not going to stay where I'm not wanted. And what I realized was, and I had a talk with a friend of mine later, I was being warned to take that box of tarot cards with me. What happened was these two ladies that were cleaning, they found my box. They saw that I read tarot cards. Now, I live in the South, and there's a lot of Christians that live here. They're like the Southern Baptist or whatever. And these women convinced this lady, who I had been with for like almost 2 weeks, had convinced her that I was a terrible person, that I was a witch, and I, was bringing evil into the house and all that stuff. So that's what I'm telling you, Leo. Listen to your higher divine. Right now, your higher divine is warning you about something. It could be something to do with work. It could have something to do with a relationship. It is warning you about something. You need to pay attention, because the Seven of Swords, there's some sort of deceit or somebody out to do harm. And it may be a harm that they're setting out to do to you, so that either to hurt you or to gain some sort of benefit for themselves. So you need to be open in receiving and listening to what. I'm going to flip this over, because we want to flip. This is the beauty of tarot. You can take the reverse and put it this way. You got to listen. If you see a red flag, or you feel something is not right, pay attention to it, Leo. I know that we are very strong and stubborn, and we like to do things our way. Pay attention to this sign, okay? I hope this helps. If you want to get your own personal reading, you can go to the box below where I have my website listed. You can go to my website. I can read for anybody in the United States over the telephone. Also, if you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. and you'll get a notice every time I put something out. In the meantime, Leo, I will talk to you next week. Have a great week and watch out. Bye-bye.